In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the ugly method to create users and groups. The ugly method stands for put users into global groups, put global groups into local groups. Yes, it works. I'm inside of my server here, inside of Active Directory users and computers. I'm going to create a few users. I'm going to pretend that they're all IT users. Now normally your users would probably be already created. So I have one user here, it's the Freilich user. If I go to the account tab, you can notice that I'm using the naming convention of first name dot last name. So for my other users I'm going to create, I want to do the same thing. So I'm just going to right click and do a new user. First name is going to be Frank, last name Garcia. So I want to use the username of Frank.Garcia for them to log in. Create a secure initial password. And finish that user. I'll create one more, so we have 3. Have Linda Johnson, so her username, first name dot last name, keeping with that naming convention. Looks like this. Give the secure initial password again. And now I have my users. So now I have my users. My next thing is to create the global group. And you would create any global groups for users that have common needs or that perform common tasks. What I'm going to do is right click, do a new group. I'm going to choose a global group. I'm going to name this IT Global. I like to add the global onto there so that I know that this is a global group. It's a security group. With security groups you can assign these groups to ACLs, and you can also use them for a distribution group. So I'm going to use security group and hit OK. Now that I have this IT global group, I want to go ahead and put my users into this group. So this is where you put the users into global groups. This is the U and the G part of ugly. Under my members, notice I don't have any members, but I'm going to add the Matt Freilich user and the Linda Johnson user, and also the Frank Garcia user. So I have those 3 users as part of that group. Now let's pretend that I have a folder here. So I'm going to right click, do a new folder. I'm just going to call this folder 1. Now I want to give users access to this folder. So using the ugly method, what I would do is I'd go into my Active Directory users and computers. I would right click and I would do a new group. And this time I would choose a domain local group. In the group I would call it folder 1 users. I like to add that it's a local. I would then go to that folder, right click on the folder, choose properties, go into the security tab, and I would now add that folder 1 users to this list, and I can give that folder 1 users whatever access that they need. Hit OK, and now you can see that this folder is set up so that folder 1 users have all the permissions that they need. So now what I do is I simply go into Active Directory and I can make my global group part of that group. So now that I have the IT global group nested inside of the folder 1 users group, that IT global group will automatically have access to this folder 1. So again, that's the ugly method. That's putting users into global groups. Like I put all of my users into the IT global, then putting global groups into local groups. That was nesting my IT global inside of this folder 1 users. I hope that after watching this video you have a little bit of an understanding on how the ugly method of creating users and groups works. If you still have questions, please feel free to contact me and we can go over it together. Thanks for watching.